Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back discussing an alternate cut of Rob Zombie's Halloween. Released on August 31st, 2007, Rob Zombie's Halloween is the remake to John Carpenter's classic. Obviously, when people saw it in theaters, like myself, we saw the theatrical cut of the film. Then, when the movie was released on DVD and Blu-ray, we had the option to watch the unrated director's cut. But what some people might not know is there is also a third cut that actually precedes the other two. 4 days before the theatrical premiere, the Workprint version of Rob Zombie's Halloween leaked online. It turns out that cut was the same version that was screened earlier that year on May 18th, 2007. Based on the reactions during that early test screening, changes were made to the movie. Obviously, Rob Zombie's Halloween, the Workprint, is the alternate cut Jason and I are discussing in these videos. Now, here's my personal story regarding this one. I originally saw Rob Zombie's Halloween on opening night at the drive-in. Then, just a few days later, I saw it again at the cinema. I loved it, and based on those two viewings, I was fairly familiar with the film. Then, not long after that, my buddy and I were at a flea market, and there was a guy selling some DVDs. My friend had not yet seen Rob Zombie's Halloween, so he decided to buy a copy of it, to hold him over until the official release. Well, when we got back to his house, we popped the disc in, and right away I realized something was different. Throughout the entire film, I kept thinking, gee, did I miss all of this the first 2 times I watched it? But by the time we reached the end of the movie, I knew. This was a different cut of the movie. Sure enough, it was the Workprint version. Now, because there are so many differences in this cut, I won't discuss all of the changes, just some of them. First of all, the Workprint runs only a minute or two shorter than the theatrical cut, and the unrated director's cut is longer than both. Even with an approximate runtime of 1 hour and 48 minutes, Halloween, the Workprint is the shortest version of this film. The opening music in the Workprint is not God of Thunder by Kiss. It's Monster Mash by Bobby Pickett. We also get an opening credits sequence in the Workprint, which is missing from the theatrical version. So many scenes are extended, and there are alternate takes of others. And while there are scenes present in the theatrical version that are absent from the Workprint also contains many scenes that were deleted from the final cut. Many of them did not even make it onto the unrated director's cut. So the only way to see this footage is in the Workprint. The Workprint does feature the rape escape, which is also present in the unrated director's cut, as opposed to the security guard escape in the theatrical version. However, the Workprint is the only version of the film in which Danny Trejo's character lives. Michael does not kill him in the Workprint. An extra scene includes Michael stealing Judith's gravestone from the cemetery. We only see the aftermath of that in the other 2 cuts. There is a lot more stalking in the Workprint. Michael seems to be in every scene, watching from a distance and sometimes even closer in spots than he was in the theatrical version. For example, when he's stalking the girls at school, in the theatrical cuts and director's cut, he's standing across the street, but in the Workprint, he's on the other side of the road, much closer. I know it's just an alternate take, but it's a significant difference. It's noticeable. The same could be said about the chase scenes. Michael is noticeably closer to Laurie when he's chasing her in the third act. Some of the kills vary in the workprint, including Bob's, which is completely different. The workprint uses the theatrical nude scene of Linda, as opposed to the unrated director's cut, which shows her full frontal nudity. In addition to Monster Mash, there is other alternate music used as well, and the workprint better establishes the relationship between Michael and Loomis, which is extremely important in this version. And that is because of the biggest change of all, the ending. One could argue that the theatrical cut and director's cut of Rob Zombie's Halloween focuses on the relationship between Michael and Laurie, brother and sister. This workprint, however, puts the relationship between Michael and Loomis front and center. In a way, Laurie isn't our heroine in this, or final girl, like she is in the other two versions. You could definitely make the case that Loomis is the hero and the final guy. Interestingly, focusing on that relationship adds a lot of heart to this version of the movie. The first time I saw this ending, I got chills. And when Jason and I watched it again, I got chills. I feel that the ending of the workprint is much more impactful. It's arguably much more definitive, but it's also somewhat inspiring. I know that might sound strange since I'm talking about Rob Zombie's Halloween, but if you've seen the workprints, I'm sure you'd understand. This is yet another case where I actually prefer this cut to what we got. I don't know what was wrong with that test audience in May of 2007, because in my opinion, the workprint is the best version of Rob Zombie's Halloween. But then again, the best thing about all three versions existing is the fact that we have alternate cuts. Don't forget to check out Jason's video to hear what he has to say about this one. Have you seen the workprint of Rob Zombie's Halloween? If so, what do you think of it? And which version of the film do you prefer? Comment below and let me know. Well, we've finished our Halloween-themed alternate cuts for now, but which alternate cut will we discuss next? Check back soon to find out. Until then, remember, physical media matters. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind. Subscribe.